and people start laughing. And I look at them in the audience, right at them, because they're laughing, and because now it's getting laughs at people's expense.
For years, George Clooney's public persona as Hollywood's ultimate bachelor was an iconic part of his allure. Known for his charm, wit, and independence, Clooney's vow never to marry became a trademark, solidifying his image as the globe-trotting, unattached heartthrob. However, in a stunning turn of events, Clooney surprised the world when he married Amal Alamuddin, a brilliant human rights lawyer. What seemed like the perfect fairy tale moment, however, concealed a deeper, more complex story. Beneath the glamour and media frenzy surrounding their wedding, Clooney faced personal struggles that exposed the emotional toll of living under constant public scrutiny, forever changing the narrative of his carefully constructed image. The enigmatic bachelor. For years, George Clooney was Hollywood's most eligible bachelor. His charm and quick wit made him the ideal subject for magazine covers and late-night talk show banter. He embodied the player archetype, confidently living a life devoid of any serious commitment. His interviews were peppered with humorous jabs about his aversion to marriage, often giving the impression that he was perfectly content with his bachelorhood. He was the perpetual bachelor, the man who charmed his way through endless relationships without ever committing. He became a symbol of the glamorous, carefree life, the epitome of a man who had it all: fame, fortune, and the freedom to do as he pleased. But as Clooney's career progressed, so too did his public persona. The media began to wonder if his refusal to marry was more than just a quip. Clooney had grown into a man who seemed to have everything, and yet he remained elusive when it came to matters of the heart. His relationships, while high-profile, never seemed to endure in a lasting way, and the public began to speculate whether Clooney would ever find someone with whom he could truly settle down. For a long time, he seemed to represent the last vestige of a vanishing breed of Hollywood bachelor, the man who could have it all without the chains of marriage. The unexpected marriage. In 2014, George Clooney shocked the world by announcing his engagement to Amal Alamuddin, a renowned human rights lawyer from the United Kingdom. The announcement sent shockwaves through the media, with countless headlines declaring that Clooney had found the one. The couple's wedding was a star-studded affair in Venice, Italy, with Clooney looking every bit the handsome groom and Amal the picture of grace. The event was meticulously covered by tabloids and glossy magazines, turning Clooney and Amal into the epitome of Hollywood glamour. Their marriage seemed, at least outwardly, to be the perfect match. Amal, a highly intelligent and accomplished woman, appeared to offer George the stability and intellectual companionship that had previously eluded him. Together, they were the ultimate power couple, a pairing of beauty, brains, and immense public appeal. For George, Amal represented a change, a pivot in his life that took him from the world of the single and carefree bachelor into the realm of deep, committed partnership. But despite the perfect images and media coverage, Clooney's marriage to Amal did not shield him from the pressures of fame and personal struggle. Behind closed doors, the couple was confronted with the realities of what it meant to maintain a relationship in the public eye. Clooney's admission that his marriage was not without its difficulties opened the door to a deeper conversation about the impact of fame on personal lives and relationships. The impact of fame on marriage fame, as George Clooney himself has acknowledged, is a double-edged sword. While it brings adoration, wealth, and influence, it also comes at a significant personal cost. One of the most significant sacrifices Clooney made in his career was his privacy. For many years, his every move, whether on a film set, at an event, or simply walking down the street, was scrutinized by the media. His relationships, particularly with women, were fodder for gossip columns, and every new romance was followed by a barrage of paparazzi photos. Clooney's marriage to Amal, while widely celebrated, did not escape the public's relentless gaze. Every intimate moment, every argument, and even every gesture was subject to interpretation by the media. As much as they tried to maintain a sense of normalcy, the constant scrutiny became an unwelcome third party in their marriage. Clooney has said that while fame opened doors, it also trapped him in a way that prevented him from truly experiencing life without an audience. The world was watching, and that watching became a burden. The pressure of constantly being in the spotlight took its toll on George and Amal's relationship. In their attempts to maintain privacy, they inadvertently created distance between themselves and the resources they needed to navigate the complexities of marriage. Clooney has shared that he and Amal tried to shield their relationship from the press, but this effort often led to isolation. The couple worked hard to protect their personal lives, but their efforts to keep their struggles private may have prevented them from seeking the help and support they needed. The slow drift, a tale of growing apart. There was no dramatic incident or scandal that led to Clooney's divorce. Instead, it was the slow, inevitable drift of two people growing apart. The relationship wasn't failing because of any single event, but rather because both partners were changing in ways that were no longer compatible. The demands of Clooney's career, which often required him to be away for long periods of time while filming on location, contributed to the growing rift between the couple. As Clooney reflected on the breakdown of his marriage, he admitted that they simply stopped being what the other needed. For Clooney, his demanding career came at a price. His work as an actor, director, and producer required him to spend months at a time away from home. For a marriage to thrive, both partners need time and attention, something that was increasingly difficult for Clooney to provide. His life, which had once revolved around spontaneous adventures and socializing with friends, was now overshadowed by the demands of his professional commitments. The distance created by these absences, combined with the pressures of fame, led to a disconnect between him and Amal. While the divorce was not marked by scandal or betrayal, it was still a deeply painful and emotional process. Clooney has admitted that he struggled to come to terms with the end of his marriage. For a man who had been in control of his career and personal image for so long, the unraveling of his marriage was a humbling experience. It was a reminder that even the most seemingly perfect relationships are vulnerable to the challenges of life, career, and personal growth. The healing process. Rediscovering himself. In the aftermath of his divorce, Clooney turned to his inner circle, friends, family, and loved ones, for support. These individuals provided him with a sense of grounding, helping him to process the emotions he was facing. In many ways, it was through his relationships with these people, not his public image, that Clooney was able to find solace. One of the things that helped Clooney move forward was his work. He threw himself into his craft, using filmmaking as a means of processing his emotions. The creative process allowed him to regain some sense of control over his life and gave him the space to reflect on his experiences. Through directing and acting, Clooney was able to explore themes of resilience, self-discovery, and the complexities of relationships. His work became a therapeutic outlet, helping him come to terms with his feelings while also allowing him to create meaningful art. Perhaps the most important lesson Clooney learned from his divorce was the value of self-awareness. In order to be a good partner, he realized, he first had to understand himself and what he needed from life. He acknowledged that his career had often taken precedence over his personal life, and that in order to be a better partner in the future, he needed to recalibrate his priorities. Divorce, for Clooney, became a catalyst for self-reflection and growth. Divorce as a path to self-discovery. Divorce is often seen as a failure, but for George Clooney, it was a moment of profound self-discovery. The end of his marriage forced him to confront the things that were not working in his life and to reconsider his priorities. Divorce, for Clooney, was not about blame or scandal, but about recognizing the reality of human relationships. He came to understand that sometimes two people simply outgrow each other, and that's okay. The process of divorce helped him reevaluate his own desires, values, and goals moving forward. Through the pain of his separation, Clooney learned the importance of communication and vulnerability. Relationships, he realized, require constant effort, openness, and mutual understanding. Divorce was not a simple ending. It was a moment of transformation, a chance to recalibrate and move forward with a clearer sense of purpose. The long road ahead, moving forward. For George Clooney, the road ahead was one of self-awareness, growth, and reinvention. His divorce was painful, but it also marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. He has since found love again, marrying Amal Alamuddin in a more private ceremony, and together they have children. His experience with divorce, however, has shaped the way he views relationships and his place in the world. Clooney's journey is a testament to the complexity of love and fame. It reminds us that even the most glamorous lives are not without their struggles. It is also a reminder that sometimes the greatest moments of growth come from the most challenging times. Through his experiences, George Clooney has come to understand the importance of authenticity, communication, and self-awareness. And ultimately, it is this self-discovery that has allowed him to move forward with grace and purpose. Julia Roberts and George Clooney, a friendship that endures. When Julia Roberts and George Clooney first stepped onto a movie set together, no one could have predicted the enduring, close-knit friendship that would develop between them. In a world where Hollywood relationships are often short-lived or driven by ulterior motives, their friendship stands out as an anomaly. It's not just the shared screen time in blockbusters like Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, and Ticket to Paradise that solidified their bond, but their off-screen chemistry and the dynamic they share in interviews and public appearances. They have been the subject of much speculation, not only about their careers, but also about their friendship. And despite the gossip machine's best efforts, the truth remains that the story behind their relationship is far more complex than what the tabloids would have us believe. Behind the gossip, Hollywood's love for drama. In the realm of Hollywood, where publicists are kings and scandal often sells, friendships like those between Roberts and Clooney can be a double-edged sword. While the media loves to spin narratives, particularly when it comes to famous actors, the bond between Roberts and Clooney has somehow withstood the test of time. This is not to say that they are immune to gossip. Far from it. In fact, their names have often been thrust into the media spotlight, sometimes for no reason other than the desire to create drama where none exists. Clooney's rumored issues with other celebrities, or Roberts' alleged silence on certain matters, are prime examples of how the public's insatiable need for gossip can lead to the misrepresentation of even the most innocent interactions. Despite this, Roberts and Clooney have learned to embrace the narrative around them. Their ability to laugh off the rumors and deflect any tension is part of what makes their friendship so appealing to the public. While it is true that their friendship is not immune to media attention, their genuine affection for each other is evident to those who take the time to see past the surface-level drama. The foundation: shared work experiences and career paths. A major reason for the longevity of their friendship lies in the fact that they've shared so many experiences together in the workplace. The set of a film often becomes a second home to actors. Long hours spent under harsh lighting, rehearsing the same scenes, and the camaraderie that naturally builds up when you're constantly working with the same people create bonds that last long after the cameras stop rolling. Clooney and Roberts exemplify this phenomenon. Having worked together on several films, including the Ocean's 11 franchise and Ticket to Paradise, they have built a professional relationship that transcends their roles as co-stars. Unlike many Hollywood friendships that are purely superficial, Clooney and Roberts' relationship was forged through shared experiences on film sets. Their effortless banter, visible comfort with each other, and the genuine joy they bring to interviews together give us a glimpse into the nature of their friendship. In an industry where egos often dominate, it's refreshing to see two celebrities who manage to balance their personal and professional lives so effectively, especially in front of a camera. While many Hollywood actors might be too busy managing their public image to form lasting friendships, Clooney and Roberts' connection is something deeper, born from years of working together and mutual respect for each other's craft. Their chemistry, which is often cited as a reason for the success of their films, is an extension of their real-life bond, making their collaborations both on-screen and off-screen incredibly seamless. Hollywood's competitive landscape, how their friendship survives. It's well known that Hollywood can be a cutthroat, competitive place. For most actors, the landscape is filled with rivals vying for the same roles and opportunities. As such, many Hollywood friendships are built on fragile ground, strained by professional competition. Clooney and Roberts, however, have been able to avoid this trap. Their careers have always taken distinct paths, ensuring that their friendship would never be threatened by professional jealousy. Julia Roberts, with her status as America's sweetheart, has always been a leading lady in romantic comedies and dramas, roles that showcase her infectious charm and every woman appeal. George Clooney, on the other hand, carved out a niche for himself as the suave, debonair leading man, his roles often rooted in action or adventure. Their career trajectories have never overlapped significantly, which is one of the reasons their friendship has remained largely unscathed by the professional rivalries that plague other stars. The fact that they have never been in direct competition for roles gives their relationship an unusual level of stability, especially in a business that thrives on competition. While many actors are constantly fighting for the same opportunities, Roberts and Clooney have been able to maintain their friendship without the stress of competing for the same career milestones. Balancing public and private lives. A study in contrast one area where their differences have often come under public scrutiny is in their approaches to balancing their personal and professional lives. Clooney, having recently transitioned into family life, often finds himself at the center of discussions about how actors manage relationships and parenthood. Roberts, on the other hand, has been vocal about her challenges when it comes to protecting the privacy of her children. The contrast in their approaches, Clooney's open embrace of his family life and Roberts' desire to shield her children from the media spotlight, has often led to the media portraying them as polar opposites. This divide has prompted numerous discussions about who is doing it better, often fueled by gendered narratives about how men and women should handle family and fame. It's an unfair and outdated trope that has continued to follow these two stars, but they have both managed to rise above it. Clooney's more public family life is sometimes painted as the more successful model, while Roberts' privacy-first approach is seen as a reflection of her desire to maintain control over her personal life. What these portrayals fail to recognize is that both approaches are valid, and that both stars have achieved a remarkable level of success in balancing their personal and professional responsibilities. The public's fascination with how Roberts and Clooney balance their lives is a reflection of the way in which the media often puts celebrities under a microscope, scrutinizing their every move, even in matters as private as family life. In reality, however, the key to their friendship's longevity lies in the mutual respect they have for one another's choices. They may approach things differently, but at the core, they both understand the demands of fame and the importance of carving out personal boundaries. Mastering the public persona. Laughing at themselves. What truly sets Roberts and Clooney apart, however, is their ability to play with their public personas while simultaneously staying grounded. They have mastered the art of self-aware celebrity friendship. They both understand that their public images are carefully curated, but they are not afraid to poke fun at themselves in the process. Whether it's Clooney roasting Roberts at award shows, or Roberts sharing behind-the-scenes anecdotes that feel just rehearsed enough to be funny, they have found a way to keep their relationship fresh and entertaining. Their interactions are often lighthearted, filled with playful banter and inside jokes that give fans a glimpse into their true connection. What makes this dynamic so appealing is that both Clooney and Roberts seem to enjoy playing the role of the best of friends in a way that feels genuine, rather than forced. In a world where every public interaction is often scrutinized and overanalyzed, Clooney and Roberts have learned to embrace the absurdity of their fame. They acknowledge the spectacle, but they are never consumed by it. Their willingness to laugh at the often ridiculous aspects of their celebrity status makes them more relatable to their fans, and in turn, more likable. Julia Roberts, Hollywood's charm and savvy brand. Julia Roberts has built an illustrious career as one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses, but she is far more than just a pretty face. Behind her smile and charm lies a savvy businesswoman who has managed to stay relevant for decades. While her early career wasn't marked by instant success, her initial roles in Crime Story and Satisfaction might not have garnered much attention. Roberts was patient. She knew her time would come, and when it did, it came in the form of Pretty Woman in 1990. Suddenly, Roberts was everywhere. She became the face of romantic comedies, her ability to charm audiences with her warmth and authenticity, making her a household name. Films like My Best Friend's Wedding, 1997, and Notting Hill, 1999, solidified her reputation as the queen of rom-coms. But Roberts was never content to simply ride the wave of popularity. She proved her acting chops with Erin Brockovich, 2000, earning an Academy Award for her portrayal of the determined legal assistant. In the years that followed, Roberts continued to make strategic choices, balancing crowd pleasers with more serious roles. And while she may not have taken as many risks as some of her peers, Roberts has always known how to manage her career with precision and foresight. She has built a brand around her name, one that blends relatability with star power, and that has been a key factor in her staying power. Today, Roberts is far from the starlet, who was just a name in the credits. She's an institution, one that has managed to balance family life with a career that has spanned decades. Her personal life, while largely kept private, is an essential part of her mystique. Married to cinematographer Daniel Moder since 2002, Roberts has 3 children and has worked hard to maintain a low profile outside of her professional commitments. The timeless friendship, Clooney and Roberts' legacy. The friendship between Julia Roberts and George Clooney may have started on the set of a film, but it has since evolved into one of Hollywood's most enduring and iconic partnerships. It's not just their professional success that has kept their friendship alive, it's the genuine affection and respect they have for each other. In a town where relationships are often transactional, Clooney and Roberts' bond is a reminder that true friendship, built on shared experiences and mutual admiration, can survive even the harshest of public scrutiny. As time goes on, their friendship continues to thrive, offering fans a glimpse into a Hollywood that's not all about egos and drama. It's about real connections, the kind that transcend the silver screen. Whether they're roasting each other at award shows or teaming up for another successful project, Roberts and Clooney show no signs of slowing down. Their legacy, both as friends and as professionals, will likely continue to be one of Hollywood's most endearing stories. A friendship for the ages. In a world where most Hollywood relationships burn bright and then fade away, the friendship between Julia Roberts and George Clooney is an anomaly, a true testament to the power of shared experiences, mutual respect, and the ability to laugh at oneself. While their careers have taken them in different directions, their bond remains as strong as ever. And in a town where most friendships are fleeting, Clooney and Roberts prove that sometimes the best relationships are the ones that last.